swords and stones in the dead of night, rolling dice under flickering light. Gamers' hearts pounding in their chest, chasing glory, never letting it rest. Roll the dice, fight the beast, legends born and released. Raise your blades, feel the fire, dreams of heroes climbing higher. Dungeon deep, cold and dark, monsters lurk and leave their mark. Gamers whisper plans in the air, bravery's the answer to despair. Roll the dice, fight the beast, legends born and released. Raise your blades, feel the fire, dreams of heroes climbing higher. Monsters lurk and leave their mark. Gamers whisper plans in the air, bravery's the answer to despair. Roll the dice, fight the beast, legends born and released. Raise your blades, feel the fire, dreams of heroes climbing higher. On the table, stories unfold, courage found in the brave and bold. Fate turns with the roll of a hand, standing tall in a fantasy land. Roll the dice, fight the beast, legends born in the least. Raise your blades, feel the fire, dreams of heroes climbing higher.
Time for a quick shelfie update. As you can see, we've got a little bit of a collection of the Game Master's books selection of traps, puzzles, random encounters, astonishing random tables, legendary locations, legendary dragons, more random encounters. And then we move into the AD&D era. We've got Deities and Demigods, and that is a first edition. Has the Cthulhu mythos, etc. in there. Oriental Adventures, Players, Monster Manual, Player's Handbook, and DM's Guide. Then I have a reprint of the Fiend Folio and Monster Manual 2. Then we get into D&D 3.5. We have the DM's Guide. I kind of lucked out and found that one on a bookshelf at my FLGS for a whopping $16. And then, yes, because, you know, it's Dungeons & Dragons, so I had to have them. So I got the collection of the Monster Manual, Player's Handbook, and DM's Guide for 5e. I bought it as a set, which comes in a nice holder, and a DM screen. Normally sells for like $200 and some Canadian on Amazon. I got it locally for a whopping $50, so I locked right out. Then we have a retell of D&D called Basic Fantasy. Very simplified version, a whole bunch of basic fantasy modules and anthologies there. And then we got into one of my favorite looking player's guides and game guides of all. The artwork in Dragonbane is freaking amazing. I absolutely love it. They're just nice books to look at, let alone play the game. And of course, tabletop role-playing game collection wouldn't be complete without a Dungeon Crawl Classics rulebook and the X Crawl Classics rulebook, which is a Mutant Crawl Classic, basically. We've got a DCC Tome of Adventure, Volume 2. And then we get into Talisman Adventures, which is another D&D clone, more or less, D20 side type of game. Rolled and Told, which are pre-played modules for 5e, which are really inspiring. Got lots of cool stuff in there. Wonderland, which is a TTRPG version of Alice in Wonderland, which is very, very cool. Confusing, but cool. Index card RPG. Yes, you can hear my cat in the background. Just ignore him. He's just yappy. Then we have Pirate Borg. And then we have the Dragonbane box set and Essentials kit. Moving up to the next shelf. And we have our decorative lamp, dragon lamp. We have our original Nintendo and, of course, Mario in the front. We have a couple of DM mugs full of dice. We have a demon dice tower with a massive D20. We have a homemade dice tower that I use for my in-person games and some oversized D20s in front. In the back, you can kind of see, here's my dice collection. I've got a big selection of dice in the back there. Another container over there full of dice. And then we come down, try to angle this properly, sorry for the shaking. We've got a DCC collection of dice back there and some oversized dice in here. And this mug is full of oversized dice sets. In this one, just some assorted dice, some older ones that I have had for a while. And that is the dice collection. And we skip on up to the very top shelf and we have some minis. We have some superhero minis, some dragon figurines. Yes, that's the Energizer Bunny. We have some Ralpartha original figurines from back in the 80s. And then we have a few that I bought recently. Plastic ones that are not painted. We scroll down to this little fella that's hanging here that I picked up at the FLGS recently. It's called a Paper App Dungeon, which is a solo dungeon crawling game. Kind of cool. I thought it was nifty. Haven't played it yet, but looks wicked. And the side shelf over here, we have Dungeon Quest books. Lots of them. We have assorted RPGs that I printed off. That's my old version of it, Swords and Stones. We got the OG GMs, Vigilantes for Shadow Dark. We've got all kinds of oddballs. There's Dragonbane Adventures and stuff like that. So these are assorted game guides that I've printed up. We got Raygun Renegades, Nimble, all kinds of cool stuff. And here's some older modules like Temple of Elemental Evil from the original AD&D. We got a campaign source book and a bunch of old modules in there. This is my J.P. Couvert shelf. This is all my collection of J.P. Couvert zines, which are both game zines as well as how to draw zines, so instructional zines. And we have some assorted ones that I printed off. We have Mork Borg. Let me get my little stuffies out of the way. We have Mork Borg. We have Roll and Play Fantasy Random Tables. Very cool book. Very, very cool book. We have Old School Essentials Anthologies ×2. And of course, no shelf is complete without the extended cut Lord of the Rings trilogies. Moving on down, we have a binder full of Advanced Dungeons & Dragons modules. And I mean full by, full. Tons of them. We have Dungeon Crawl Classics Adventures. I've got quite a few of those. We have some Shadow Dark Adventures. Several of those. Whoops. And there goes the camera. Boy, that was good. Sorry about that, folks. Some more Basic Fantasy modules. I've got just about the whole collection of Basic Fantasy. Some Old School Essential Adventures. And then we've got Forbidden Lands, Book of Beasts, the Midlife Monster Manual, and Dragonfoot Monster Tome. So these are just kind of monster manuals. The Midlife Monster Manual is hilarious. If you get a chance to pick it up, that's funny as hell. Here we have a copy of my own game, Swords and Stones. I've got it all indexed and printed up looking nice. Down to the next shelf. We have assorted random adventures that are really system agnostic, I guess you could say. We have some assorted dungeon maps, some world building tools, Castles and Crusades guidebook, Shadow Dark quick start and guidebook. And these are the original Dungeons and Dragons, some old ones from the 70s and 80s that have been reprinted. We've got Swords and Wizardry, which is an AD&D clone. And we've got Tunnels and Trolls, which is the next oldest TTRPG in existence, other than Dragon Bane, Tunnels and Trolls, and Dungeons and Dragons. I think those are the 3 originals that I know of. Other than that, I have my campaign book here, where I keep basically all of my notes and extra encounters for playing. And yeah, so that is my shelfie update. Sorry for the random camera movement and the shaky camera movement, but hey, you know, when you're not a pro, 'tis what happens. Hey, ciao gang.